So y'all seen the story about the finesse, right? That wasn't really a finesse. I got locked up, got to jail thinking I could finesse the bond lady into coming to get me, and then end up getting kidnapped by the bondsman. So after the lady drive me from the P farm, she was like, Sherelle, I'm gonna see you tomorrow. I'm gonna talk to you tomorrow. We're gonna get that money. I'm like, yes, ma'am. I'm gonna talk to you tomorrow. I'm gonna get you the rest of the money. You drive safe, you get home. Genuinely speaking, right? Genuinely speaking. So I make my way back to Texas thinking everything cool, like I'm a finesser, but I didn't realize that I had gave them my real address. Moving too fast, I gave my real address on the bond application. The references were BS. So I'm like, oh my God. You know what I'm saying? Not really thinking about it too hard because I'm like, you in Louisiana, ain't no way you're going to come all the way to Texas. So I'm living my life. The next morning roll around, I'm getting a call from the 318 number. It's the bond company. Brr, hello? Yeah, I'm just trying to see if you're ready to make your payment now. I was like, yeah, just give me a little bit of time, you know, trying to finesse my way up out of it. I'm like, just give me a little bit of time. I got to work on getting the last $200. She was like, okay, well, just call me when you get it. You know, she's still going out on a limb, taking me for my word and saying, hey, like, she going to pay me. I'm going to just wait. So nighttime rolled around. She called me again. She was like, Sherelle, are you going to make the money? I was like, yes, ma'am. Somebody actually on their way right now to bring me the money. Like, I'm sitting there saying, like, I'm lying to the lady, right? So time goes on, she started calling me, she calling me back to back, and I was just ignoring the call. Ignore. I was not about to pay this lady, and I definitely wasn't gonna sit here in one spot and allow you to come and take me back to jail. So I'm out of my business, and a couple of weeks roll around. At this point, she done stopped calling, she done stopped sending text messages, she done stopped sending emails, she done stopped all the way around. So I'm thinking like, oh, okay, maybe I done got away with it. So I'm driving in the car, mind you, I did get the car out the impound. I'm driving in the car, I'm chilling, I'm shopping, I'm living life, I'm with my kids, my friends, like I'm doing what I do, right? So randomly, my sister, or who I thought was my sister, texted me on my phone and was like, hey, Sherelle, we about to come out to your house. What you got going today? I was like, nothing, but today's not a good day because I got some things going, which I really did, and I just didn't want them to come out. So she was like, well, just let me know when it's cool to come out. And, you know, me, mama, and the kids, we're going to come out there and see you. So it was kind of awkward because they don't drive to Texas. So for you to sit here and text me and say you coming to Texas just seemed a little iffy. But I didn't think too much of it. Like, okay, it's my sister saying she want to come to my house. We'll figure it out another day. So I'm still minding my business. I'm sitting here beatboxing with my baby daddy. Boom, 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 fighting with him. I'm sitting here dealing with my son's godmom. You know, not dealing with it, but, you know, entertaining. We having fun. We living life. So then another couple of weeks roll around, right? Robin texted me, or what I thought was Robin. She was like, hey sis, we in Texas and we trying to find your house. Now mind you, like they knew the general area of where I lived. They just didn't know like the pinpoint exactly where to go. So I'm sitting here like, oh, okay, so y'all already in town. Let me just go ahead and make it easy. So I'm like, where you at right now? She was like, well, I'm at such and such, like, you know, because I ain't gonna put that there. So she was like, I'm at such and such on Jean. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, you ain't too far away from me. Like, what you driving? She was like, oh, I'm in a silver SUV. So now when she said silver SUV, it immediately struck me like, who got a silver SUV or whatever? And I'm thinking, I'm like, my auntie got a silver Avalanche, but that's a truck. My aunt Bella got a white Yukon. My mama got a minivan, which now she got a truck. So who got a silver SUV? So I'm sitting there thinking like, maybe Kamaya and them were with her. That's her son and all of that, right? So she texted me, she was like, well, just come outside. Like, what's your address? Like, I give her the address. Boo, 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 boo. I send it back to her. So after a little bit of time, I'm trying to call, and instead of her answering, she don't answer. So I'm like, you trying to find out where I live? I'm trying to give you instructions, and you don't even want to answer the phone. So I go outside. When I go outside, she finally texts back and was like, yeah, I'm in the silver SUV. Like, where you at? Come outside. So I'm like, I see y'all. Turn around and come back. So instead of them actually turning around to come back, they ended up still going straight and making that left. So I'm like, all right, cool. Well, they'll just make a circle. So I go back in the house. When I go back in the house, I'm calling them again because at this point, you said you wanted to come and see me. I'm giving you instructions. I'm trying to call you. It ain't that hard. Like, just come down the street to the house. Like, I'm literally saying come down the street. So mind you, this has been going on for about an hour now, right? It don't take that long for y'all to find my house. So then, like, it started to set in like, okay, I feel like some shit going on. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's some fugazi. Like, ain't no way my sister having this hard of a time finding, you know, where I am. And usually you would call if you don't got no understanding. So I'm thinking like, all right, I know for a fact that this is her number, but I wonder if there's a way for somebody to like tap in or try to use her number and get to me. The only thing that clicked in my head was the bonds people. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't seen them. Like, I feel like, you know, with me pulling a finesse, y'all would have been here a long time ago rather than waiting and then saying like, oh, okay, yeah, we just gonna go and get her. Or maybe they did and was like, we gonna give her a little bit of time. She gonna put it in the back of her head. She ain't gonna think too much about it. Then boom, we gonna swarm in and we gonna get her. That's exactly what they did. So she finally texts back. She was like, hey sis, come outside. Mind y'all, the sun done went down. It's kind of dark or whatever, right? So I'm like, all right. So I'm putting on my shoes. Still hesitant, but then I'm like, this is her number. Like, this can't be like no setup or whatever. So I go outside. When I go outside, I'm sitting here, I'm texting, I'm like, yeah, I'm standing outside. Like, you got to come down and you'll see me. Like, just drive like you can't miss me or whatever, right? So they was like, well, we still, you know, we in the SUV and we coming around South Jean on around to North Jean where I live, because it's like a big old U. So I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to just stand out here and I'm going to wait. So as they driving around, I assume, I see some headlights coming. But as the headlights get closer, my dumb ass sitting here with my flashlight. I'm going off and on, off and on. I'm like, y'all, like, I'm texting, like, you see the flashlight? Off and on, off and on, off and on. So I'm waving like a dumbass. I'm waving, right? So the car, like, zooms up really fast, like, zoom. They zoom up real fast. And I'm like, oh, okay. Instantly, the freaking side door opens and I see flashlights coming at me like a flickering light. I turn around trying to run. When I run, I trip. This shoe comes off and all I feel is somebody just grabbing me. So immediately I'm thinking like this Kamaya or somebody, you know, like I'm scared in a sense, because why you like running in the dark, like attacking me or some shit? Because I don't know what the fuck going on. So I'm thinking it's Kamaya. So I'm laughing. I'm like, Kamaya. And I turn around and I see a nigga face that I do not recognize. I'm like, what? He was like, yeah, you thought I was your sister or something. You thought you was going to play my mama and then get away with it and we wasn't going to find you. And immediately my heart fell to the motherfucking ground. I'm like, oh my God. He was like, yeah. I'm like, my shoe. But then while I'm saying my shoe, the only thing that mattered was the fact, like, my daughter in the house, it's some kids in the house. There ain't no adult here. It was just me. You know what I'm saying? It was like, where they daddy at? Who can come and get him? I was like, man, look. You got me, okay? You got me. Like, you got me. And it just dawned on me like, man, these motherfucking bounty hunters done finesse the kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, you, how? So I got so many questions, but before I start asking my questions, I'm like, well, listen, can I use my phone to call my daughter's dad to tell him that she's in the house? He got to come and get her. And then I'm going to let the other kids' parents know, like, hey, this is what's going on. He was like, listen, look, you ain't give us too hard of a tussle. You ain't do too much. So we'll allow you to do that. But you're going to do that inside the car. So when they open up the door again, I get in the car. It's a fat nigga in the driver's seat. I'm like, yo, fat ass wasn't even going to get out and run and chase me, was you? He was like, nope, my job is to drive. There's somebody else in the front, and they sit me in the middle. So nigga on this side, and then a black dude was on this side. He was like, all right, we'll make the phone call. So I called him. I'm like, Joseph. He was like, what's up? I said, man, I'm finna go back to jail. He talking about, man, what you done did now? I said, man, look, it don't even matter. We'll talk about this later. Jay Lee is in the house with other kids. So I need you to come down here and get Jay Lee. So, of course, I give him the address and everything. I was like, all right, cool. He's like, man, you always doing some fucking. I'm like, Joseph, this is not the time for you to sit here yelling at me about some shit that I shouldn't have done. Like, you know, we ain't even together, so I'm calling you on the sake of your child, right? So I hang up the phone. So then I'm like, all right. So I just got to call their mom and let them know, like, hey, I'm going to jail. Y'all got to get to the house and get the kids. So I down, I'm like, hey, Kat. The bounty hunters got me. She was like, what? What? Sure, where you at? I said, well, I'm outside in front of your house, but I'm in the car with the bounty hunters. The kids are in the house. And she was like, well, Kiwi on the way. Just let them know, like, Kiwi on the way, and he'll be there in a little bit, and he'll stay with the kids. Did you call Jay Lee's dad or whatever? So I was like, yes, ma'am, I called him. She was like, baby, call me when you get to the jail. So he was like, is that it? We good? We go? Let's roll. So the white fat dude, he pulled off skirt like he on a high speed chase or a heist or something. Like, yo, we got the nigga, let's go, right? So I done came to terms. I done came to my senses like, all right, bet. You motherfuckers got me. You got me. So now y'all gotta answer my questions. I said, bro, how y'all do that? He said, what? I said, how you sit here texting me from my sister number? He said, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. You really thought you was talking to your sister, huh? I said, honestly, I did. Because a while ago, she was saying she was coming to my house and I told her I had things to do. He was like, yeah, you know, we had been over here trying to find you, but your address drops you like in a general location. It doesn't give you a direct. So we didn't want to just go knocking on people's door, trying to find you or nothing. We had to like draw you out. I'm like, man, y'all good as a motherfucker. Y'all good. He said, yeah, we scared the fuck out of you, didn't you? I was like, I ain't gonna lie. when I seen the flashing light and somebody jumping out the car, I thought that was my black ass cousin Kamaya just playing and shit, cause he do that type of shit. He's like, yeah, that shit was good. And I was like, yeah, why y'all had to football tackle me like that? Like, you literally came, I'm already tripped out of my shoe and everything, and then you snatched me. He was like, listen, we was never gonna hurt you or nothing. But the goal was, if we had to sit there and just politely got out of the car, you would have been able to run in the house, probably run out the back door, some shit. You know, it's only 2 of us and the other 2 sitting in the front. So there's only so much that we could do. I was like, man, all right, cool. He said, man, look, why you ain't just pay my mama? I said, look, man, I got arrested. I did whatever it was that I did, and I had the money. Like, I gave her that money, but I just didn't have nobody else that would have gave me the other money. You know, he told me, man, you tried to run a scheme, bro. Like, all you have to do was just talk to us. So, you know, he came down to earth, like, all you have to do is just talk to us. So I'm sitting there like, so what happens now? He was like, well, one, you ain't gonna bond. Like, you ain't on bond with us. So you gotta find another company that's gonna bond you. And with this going on and the fact that you only paid so much money, then you had us come out here and hunt you down. I don't think no bond company gonna touch you. So I'm like, so man, you telling me I gotta go all the way back to jail and I can't bond out? He said, listen, I'm telling you that ain't no bond company gonna wanna touch you when I let them know we had to come out here and tackle you. I said, man, listen, you gotta do that. You gotta do that. He's talking about, man, I ain't gonna say that. If you find a bond company that'll come and get you, they come and get you. But the money that you gave us, you're not getting it back. I said, I ain't getting it back. He was like, no, because you made my mama come and bond you out. And then you told her when you got home, you was gonna give that money back. I mean, give her the rest of the money. And then you ghosted her. And then she had to send us out here to come and find you. So I'm sitting here like, man, bro, this shit's stupid. I ain't even got my shoe. I said, bro, my shoe's still left in the yard. He was like, that's okay. They're gonna give you some shoes at the jail. So we driving back from Texas all the way to Louisiana. And it was like the longest drive ever, but I'm nervous because